Hello, Immortal News family, and welcome back to our channel. In the last 24 hours, we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Number 8. Frank believed theater was a living conversation between artist and audience, a colleague once said. He was never content to simply perform. He poured himself into every moment. Frank Barrie passed away peacefully at the age of 88, surrounded by loved ones. His departure leaves a quiet space in the world of British drama that may never be filled in quite the same way. Across 6 remarkable decades, Frank became a force in theater, television, and storytelling. He was a master of Shakespeare, commanding the stage as Hamlet, Macbeth, and Bracciano. His nuanced performances left lasting impressions, whether in classic tragedies or contemporary dramas. With Sir Laurence Olivier's National Theatre Company, he cemented his place among Britain's theatrical greats. But it was his one-man show Macready that became a global triumph. Performed in 65 countries and honored at the Commonwealth Games Arts Festival, it showcased not just his talent, but his passion for connecting with audiences. Frank appeared in over 150 screen productions. He held roles in EastEnders, Emergency Ward 10, and Softly Softly, among others. His portrayal of Edward Bishop in EastEnders brought him into the homes and hearts of a new generation. His range was vast, one moment capturing intensity, the next lending lightness or grace. He directed international productions, penned original works for stage and screen, and pushed boundaries in his later years. His writing credits included Wellington, The Devil You Know, and The Other Woman, which aired on the BBC. Offstage, Frank was known for his kindness and quiet leadership. He met his wife Mary while at Hull University, where he led the debating union. The couple shared more than 6 decades together, raising their daughter Julia and building a life full of passion, travel, and the arts. His agency, Scott Marshall Partners, wrote, "It is with great sadness that we announce the death of our beloved client, Frank Barrie. He died peacefully at home, with his wife Mary and daughter Julia." Frank's work lives on, not just in recordings and scripts, but in the hearts of those he influenced. He showed the world how powerful performance can be. Warm, generous, and endlessly talented, Frank Barrie leaves behind more than memories. He leaves inspiration, tributes to Frank Barrie. Number 7. His voice brought life to some of our most cherished characters. His legacy will live on in every trainer's journey. James Carter Cathcart, whose voice made millions laugh, cheer, and believe in adventure, has passed away at the age of 71 after a courageous battle with throat cancer. For over 4 decades, James gave his heart to voice acting, most memorably in the Pokémon franchise. Starting in 1998, he voiced characters like Gary Oak and others, but his most iconic roles came later, playing the ever-dramatic James of Team Rocket, the lovable Meowth, and the wise Professor Oak. His performances brought warmth, humor, and timeless energy to fans around the world. James became the longest-serving cast member in Pokémon's English dub, contributing not only as an actor but also as a script adapter. His dedication helped shape the series' tone and kept its spirit alive across generations. Whether on TV, in films, or in games, his voice was a familiar companion to fans young and old. Beyond Pokémon, James lent his voice to games like Valkyrie Profile and the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. He also performed under various names, Jimmy Zoppi, Billy Beach, Carter Cathcart, leaving his mark across a wide range of characters. Born in West Long Branch, New Jersey, James grew from a childhood dreamer into a trusted voice behind the scenes. He He was cherished by colleagues for his professionalism, steady presence, and generous heart. Many remember him not only for his talent, but for encouraging others, mentoring new voice actors, and always showing up with a smile. Even as illness made things difficult, James remained committed to his work, retiring only when treatment demanded his full focus. His love for the art never waned. He is survived by his wife Martha and loved ones who supported him throughout his journey. Pokémon fans, friends, and collaborators have paid tribute across social media, remembering him not only as a gifted performer but as a kind soul who made the world a little brighter. James Carter Cathcart's legacy echoes in every Pokeball, every Meowth laugh, every heartfelt line. He gave a voice to dreams, and for that, he will always be remembered. Tributes to James Carter. Number 6. If you wanted to know what life was all about, you'd stop and have a chat with Tim. They were always the best conversations. These words from Jack's music shop capture the heart of Tim Cronin, an artist, neighbor, and loyal friend to many. Tim, best known as a founding force behind Monster Magnet, passed away at the age of 63 after a courageous battle with ALS. His life, however, was far bigger than any diagnosis. Born and raised in New Jersey, Tim helped launch Monster Magnet in Red Bank in 1989 alongside Dave Windorf and John McBain. He quickly became essential to the band's identity, known for his fierce drumming, gritty vocals, and deep musical vision. On early releases like the band's EP and their debut album Spine of God, Tim helped shape the blueprint for what would become the stoner rock genre. Even after stepping back from performing, he continued to guide Monster Magnet as a creative consultant and light show expert. Always behind the scenes, always indispensable. Outside the spotlight, Tim shined just as brightly. For more than 30 years, he ran Jack's music shop, welcoming musicians, fans, and curious passers-by alike with stories, advice, and a warm heart. The store became more than a business. It became a gathering place, and Tim was its soul. He also led the Ribeye Brothers as lead vocalist, collaborated with countless local musicians, and never hesitated to support friends' projects. His creativity never paused, and his generosity never wavered. As ALS began challenging his body, his strength of spirit never broke. Friends, fans, and fellow musicians rallied around him, raising funds and lifting him with love. The support was a reflection of the life he gave to so many. Monster Magnet's Bob Pantella wrote, "Words cannot express how great this guy was. You had to know him. Rest in peace, Tim." Today, Red Bank feels quieter without him. The music scene, a little less vibrant. But Tim Cronin's legacy plays on, in every note, every story, and every connection he helped make. He is survived by family and the countless people lucky enough to know him. Tributes to Tim Cronin. Number 5. You made every child feel like they mattered. That's how many remember Glenn Michael, who passed away peacefully at the age of 99. Known for his warm smile and soothing voice, Glenn brought light into living rooms across Scotland for decades. He first found his stage legs entertaining troops during the war. What followed was a lifetime in the spotlight, from theater stages to television screens. In his early years, Glenn worked alongside much-loved Scottish comedians like Ricky Fulton and Jack Milroy, learning the rhythms of variety and comedy. He even appeared in the black-and-white crime drama The Blue Lamp, a quiet nod to his versatility. But it was Glenn Michael's cartoon cavalcade that made him a household name. From the mid-60s through the early 90s, children eagerly gathered around their TV sets, awaiting gentle banter between Glenn and his faithful animated companion, Paladin the Talking Lamp. Add in his beloved dogs, Rudy and Rusty, and birthday shout-outs, and you had a show that felt more like time with a friend than a broadcast. His calm demeanor and genuine care gave comfort and joy to generations. The program earned recognition with a Scottish ITV Programme of the Year award, but the true reward was the deep affection from viewers who grew up with him. Beyond the screen, Glenn continued to share his time and talent, supporting charities, mentoring young entertainers, and contributing to variety shows well into his later years. His charm never faded. STV hailed him as a wonderful performer and personality, and messages poured in from those who'd grown up on his storytelling. Former colleagues described him as kind, generous, and always ready with a quiet laugh or encouraging word. Glenn Michael is survived by his wife Beryl and their 2 children. Though full details of his funeral remain private, the love and gratitude from the public speak volumes. At 99, Glenn left behind a lasting legacy of laughter, kindness, and gentle encouragement that spanned generations. With every birthday card read aloud and every cartoon shared, he helped generations of children feel seen, safe, and special. Tributes to Glenn Michael. Number 4. Humor is a weapon, one that opens minds instead of wounds. Bun Hay Mean once said this during an interview. It became more than a reflection of his work. It was a mission statement. Through laughter, he challenged preconceptions, broke down barriers, and made space for voices often unheard. Born in Bordeaux to parents who fled the horrors of Cambodia, Bun Hay Mean carried with him their resilience. Troubled by agoraphobia in his youth, he found healing in comedy. A path that began in local cafes quickly led to sold-out theaters, roaring audiences, and a place among France's most original entertainers. In 2014, he burst into national consciousness through the Jamel Comedy Club. But it was his groundbreaking solo show, Chinois Marrant, that truly introduced the world to his fearless multicultural voice. With sharp wit and bold energy, he held a mirror to society, laughing with it, laughing through it, and sometimes laughing despite it. He didn't stop at stand-up. On screen, he brought his trademark blend of mischief and heart to film roles in Comme un chef, Craignos, and Un passant pecho. His performance in Asterix and Obelix l'Empire du Milieu introduced him to a new global audience, one that loved him just as fiercely. What made Bun Hay Mean special wasn't just his talent, it was his spirit. He made people laugh, not at others, but with them. He gave those navigating questions of culture, race, or identity a sense of belonging. He didn't just build a career, he built bridges. News of his passing at only 43, following a tragic accidental fall in Paris, has left countless hearts broken. In the hours that followed, tributes poured in from fans, comedians, actors, and everyday people. One fellow artist wrote, "He dared to speak the truth with love and laughter. We've lost a voice we needed." Bun Hay Mean is survived by his family, whose privacy is being respected during this difficult time. His funeral arrangements have not yet been made public. His impact echoes far beyond the stage and screen. Through his work, his story, and his joy, that joy, Bun Hay Mean will live on. Tributes to Bun Hay Mean. Number 3. Joe had a way of making people better, whether on the mound or in life, said his son Casey, reflecting the quiet strength of a man whose presence both commanded and comforted. Joe Coleman, a towering figure in the baseball world, passed away peacefully in his sleep at age 78. He leaves behind a lifetime of achievements, a devoted family, and a legacy carved into the very heart of the game. Born in Boston, Joe was destined for the big leagues. He was the number 3 overall pick in the very first Major League Baseball draft. Incredibly, he became the first player from that draft class to take the field in a major league game. His debut? A dazzling 4-hitter win for the Washington Senators. Over a 15-year Major League career, Joe earned 142 wins and racked up over 1,700 strikeouts. But it wasn't just about the numbers. His grit was unmatched. In 1971, after recovering from a fractured skull, he returned to the mound to post a 29 season. A year later, he was an all-star and etched his name into playoff history with a 14-strikeout shutout, then a postseason record. He's best remembered as a dominant right-handed pitcher for the Senators and Detroit Tigers. But beyond the stats, Joe's real power came from his character. Teammates saw him as a mentor, fans saw him as a fighter, and his family saw him as a humble man who gave everything for the game he loved. A constant source of pride was his role in a unique 3-generation baseball legacy. Son of a major league pitcher and father to one, Joe kept the game in the family with grace and guidance. His wisdom shaped not only his own path but that of those he coached and encouraged. Following his passing, players, fans, and fellow pros took to social media and airwaves to honor the man behind the fastball. "He taught me how to pitch and how to carry myself off the field," one former teammate recalled. "He cared just as much about making good men as good players." Joe Coleman is survived by his family, including his son Casey. His memory will continue to inspire, just like his fierce form on the mound and gentle heart off it. Tributes to Joe Coleman. Number 2, Frank had this rare gift. He could lift a room with a joke, lead with heart, and still make the tough calls, said longtime broadcaster Craig Bolerjack. Frank Layden, who passed away peacefully at the age of 93, left behind far more than wins and banners. He built something lasting, a team, a culture, and a loyal following in a place few expected greatness. That place was Utah, and that team was the Jazz. Originally from Brooklyn, Frank's journey took him across the country and to the sport's highest level. He began with humble roots at Niagara University, helping his alma mater reach national tournaments. But it was in Utah where Frank's genius truly shined. Taking the reins of a struggling franchise, he served as head coach, general manager, and team president, turning the Jazz into a playoff regular and a source of pride for the entire state. He drafted legends Karl Malone and John Stockton, laying the groundwork for a new era. In 1984, Frank achieved a rare feat, being named both NBA Coach of the Year and Executive of the Year. That same year, Utah became a basketball town, but Frank's impact wasn't just on the court. He became a beloved figure, known for his quick wit, classic one-liners, and heartfelt presence in the community. Always ready with a smile, he made fans laugh, even in tough seasons, and built bridges wherever he went. He mentored players and coaches, shaped front office leadership, and always found time to support charitable causes, youth programs, and local events. His departure from the bench was on his own terms, handing leadership to Jerry Sloan but remaining to guide the team's direction. Frank's legacy endures in every playoff game the Jazz play, in the stories shared by fans, and in the wisdom he passed down through generations, including to his own son Scott, a coach in his own right. He died of natural causes, surrounded by family and love. His presence will be missed on the sidelines, but his laughter, loyalty, and leadership live on. As jazz owners Ryan and Ashley Smith said, "He meant so much to this organization and to our fans. He helped build an enduring legacy." Tributes to Frank Layden. What's trending on the internet? News 1. If you've been touched by the enduring love story of Dolly Parton and her beloved husband Carl Dean, today brings news that touches the heart. Carl Dean, Dolly's partner for nearly 60 years, has passed away peacefully at the age of 82 in Nashville, Tennessee. Dolly and Carl's story began in the summer of 1964, when she was just 18 and he was 21. They married quietly in 1966, sharing a life that was rich in laughter, devotion, and shared memories. While Dolly became a household name, Carl preferred the simple joys of home, road trips, and time away from the spotlight, always cheering her on in his own quiet way. Dolly shared, "Words can't do justice to the love we shared for over 60 years," and she's honoring Carl's memory with a heartfelt new song, "If You Hadn't Been There," celebrating their lifelong bond. Carl will be laid to rest in a private ceremony, surrounded by family and loved ones. Though Carl's presence was rarely in the limelight, his influence on Dolly and her music has inspired generations. Today we celebrate a beautiful partnership, one that reminds us all of the power of love, support, and holding each other close through life's journey. Carl Dean's gentle spirit lives on in music, memory, and the hearts of those who believe in lasting love. News 2. Let's take a moment to celebrate how technology is changing the way we connect and create, especially for storytellers and newsmakers on YouTube. As of May this year, YouTube introduced a new policy requiring creators to clearly label content that's been made or altered with artificial intelligence. This means whenever you watch a video featuring realistic AI-generated voices, images, or even entire stories, there's now a simple disclosure letting you know. Why does this matter? It gives viewers, like you and me, peace of mind, ensuring that what we see is transparent and trustworthy. Whether it's a video about family history, a favorite recipe, or the retelling of a heartwarming community moment, creators are keeping things honest. This shift is just one more way that technology empowers us to share stories across generations, while still honoring the values of truth and integrity. Here's to a future where innovation and authenticity walk hand in hand. And to viewers everywhere, thank you for supporting creators who keep it real, no matter how high-tech their storytelling gets. News 3. It's a moment for reflection as the hip-hop community says goodbye to Young Noble. Born Rufus Lee Cooper III, who passed away at the age of 47 in Atlanta. Many will remember Young Noble as the talented rapper who joined Tupac Shakur's group, The Outlaws, back in 1996, lending his voice to some of the genre's most iconic collaborations. Young Noble's journey was one of resilience, rising from a challenging upbringing to shine alongside legends, contributing to classic albums and inspiring countless fans. Behind the music, he was a dedicated family man and a passionate advocate, especially active in the fight against diabetes in recent years. His story reminds us that even those who appear strong can quietly carry heavy burdens. While words can never fully capture his impact, Young Noble's legacy lives on through his music, his advocacy, and the many lives he touched. Today we choose to honor his creative spirit, his loyalty, and his courage, celebrating the positive mark he left on the world. News 4. It's a somber moment for fans of classic TV as we remember the life and legacy of Julian McMahon, the beloved Australian-American actor who passed away on July 2nd at the age of 56 in Clearwater, Florida. Julian was best known for his unforgettable roles in hit series like Nip Tuck, where he played the charming Dr. Christian Troy, and as Cole Turner on Charmed. Many might also recall his turn as the infamous Dr. Doom in the Fantastic Four movies. Julian's passing came after a private and courageous battle with metastatic cancer, which he faced with extraordinary strength and grace, surrounded by loved ones. His wife, Kelly, shared that Julian's greatest wish was to spread joy to as many people as possible, a wish he truly fulfilled through his work and kindness. He is survived by his wife and daughter, leaving behind a legacy of remarkable talent, warmth, and positivity. Fellow actors and fans alike continue to honor Julian's memory, recalling his zest for life and dedication to his craft. As we reflect on his career and the joy he brought to screens around the world, we celebrate a life well lived and a spirit that will not be forgotten. Number 1. With wit in his voice and music in his heart, Lord Henry Mount Charles was as comfortable among rock legends as he was strolling the grounds of his ancestral home, Slane Castle. His charm, curiosity, and belief in community made him one of Ireland's most beloved cultural figures. At 74, Henry Mount Charles passed away after a long and courageous battle with cancer. Surrounded by his family and cared for by the dedicated staff at St. James's Hospital, his final days reflected the warmth and grace that epitomized his life. Best known for transforming Slane Castle into a global music destination, Lord Henry saw potential in tradition and wove it into something modern and vibrant. From the 1980s onward, the castle's natural amphitheater echoed with performances from giants like the Rolling Stones, Bruce Springsteen, and Bob Dylan. Thanks to his foresight, Slane became more than a family estate. It became the stage upon which musical history was made. Born into the Anglo-Irish aristocracy, educated at Harrow and Harvard, he could easily have followed a conventional path. Instead, he chose to reinvent it. After a devastating fire in 1991, he didn't just restore Slane Castle to its former glory, he gave it new life, pairing history with hospitality and forging something truly special. Beyond concerts and castle walls, Lord Henry wrote widely, often with humor and insight, offering a voice both urbane and sincere. His newspaper columns resonated with everyday readers across Ireland. He even dipped into politics, driven less by ambition than a true desire to serve and represent. Yet perhaps his greatest role was that of a unifier, someone who believed music could cross borders, social lines, and generations. Ireland's President Michael D. Higgins described him as a unique and important turning point in live music in Ireland. Family was at the core of it all. He is survived by his loving wife Iona, children Alex, Henrietta, Wolf, and Tamara, and his brothers Patrick and Simon. Over the years he shared his home, his vision, and his heart with the world. Through every guitar chord that still echoes above the Boyne Valley, his spirit lives on. Tributes to Henry Mount Charles. "If I'm not provoking a reaction, I'm not doing my job," Steve Benson once said, and he lived by that conviction every day of his remarkable career.